Mario Cristobal has a new defensive ends coach, and it's Jason Taylor. Yes, that Jason Taylor that played for the Miami Dolphins for a really long time. That's an NFL Hall of Famer. That was a defensive analyst this past season for the Miami Hurricanes. He was also the defensive line coach for a little bit at St. Thomas Aquinas, was the DC at St. Thomas Aquinas, which, if you're not familiar, is a powerhouse high school program in the state of Florida. So he's not new to coaching, but I think this is a good thing for Miami by elevating him to a position coach, the position that he actually played for a really long time at a Hall of Fame and all-pro kind of level. Jason Taylor, to me, being moved to defensive end coach is just more of adding the right thing to your football program at Miami. I'll explain that a little bit more. You have an NFL Hall of Famer in Jason Taylor who has done things the right way for the entirety of his career. How do I know that? Because of his resume as a player. You don't achieve all that he achieved just based on talent. At the NFL level, everybody's good. Everybody's got God-given ability just coming out of their ears. But Jason Taylor did it the right way for a long time. And why is that important? Because coaches pass on a lot to their players from a process standpoint. Jason Taylor is going to teach his room how to be professionals. Not just be great college football players, but handle your business how a professional would. And for players, especially at the college level, very impressionable. Okay, what you see your coach do, how your coach interacts with you, that's very much so something that players take on. I say this a lot, locker rooms take on the persona of their coaching staff. Mario Cristobal, no-nonsense kind of guy, discipline, structure, tough edge, that's who he is. Jason Taylor, professional, structure, culture, do things the right way. That's going to be something that his room learns from, and I think is going to then impact the rest of the defense. Excited about this for Miami. I got more thoughts on this, but if you haven't yet subscribed to the On3 YouTube channel, love to have you at the party. Miami Hurricane fans, we've had a lot of y'all join us the last month and a half or so. So if you haven't yet joined us, haven't yet subscribed, no time like the present. Also follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at JDPikel so we can do more of what you want to see. All right? You sprinkle a little bit of the Coach Prime effect as well with hiring Jason Taylor as your defensive ends coach. What do I mean by that? Why has Coach Prime just crushed it on the recruiting trail? In Boulder, Colorado, no less. Because he's got a gold jacket in his closet. Because he is arguably one of the best players to ever lace him up. And Jason Taylor, at his position at least, you could make the same argument. You could make the same argument for him being a Hall of Fame player that he's done it at an elite level. He's done it at the level that a lot of these kids want to eventually do it at. Catch my drift? What's important to these kids when they get recruited, obviously NIL is a piece of it. Obviously winning's a big piece of it and fit's a big piece of it. But at the very core of what most of these top talents are looking for is, am I going to get developed? Am I going to have every tool available to me, position coach being a big part of it, to achieve my aspirations of playing in the NFL and playing in the NFL for a really long time? Will I be equipped? Well, Jason Taylor, much like Coach Prime, can walk into the living room of a lot of these young men and say, you want to go be a Hall of Famer? You want to be a Pro Bowler? I've done it. I can help you get there. Not a lot of coaches can make that same pitch. Not a lot of coaches can make that same pitch as much as Jason Taylor can, because he did it not that long ago. And he did it in the city of Miami. So that's going to have some juice now, especially at the high school level in the state of Florida. It's going to have some juice. So I'm excited to see how that translates for Miami. Because if you recruit the defensive line well, which is what Jason Taylor's coaching in the defensive end position, you're going to give yourself a really good chance in modern college football. We had Dan Lanning, the head coach of the Oregon Ducks, on this program, I believe it was earlier this week. And he told us straight up, big games, those are won up front, man. You win in the trenches. Being able to recruit the trenches, or have an edge in recruiting the trenches now with having a Hall of Fame defensive end as one of your position coaches, that's going to bolster your efforts, okay? That's going to help the University of Miami. Because Georgia and Alabama, they recruit the defensive line really well. If Miami now can add their juice with Jason Taylor coaching that position and just get a little bit better in that unit, it's going to equate to a better chance to win games. And that's what this is all about. Just giving yourself a better chance, because it's going to take some time. I've said it before here, and I still believe this wholeheartedly. It is going to be gradual change at Miami. It's like, and I've said this before, it's like when you first start living a healthy lifestyle after eating junk food. Doesn't feel good at first. You don't see results right away. You're really sore. You might even feel a little bit sick from having eaten junk food and now switching to eating salad. It's not comfortable, and it takes some time. Going 5-7 last year for Miami, that's not comfortable. Tyler Van Dyke said it the other day on an interview, and I respect the heck out of him for it. That is awful. That is unacceptable for us here at Miami. So now moving forward, change looks uncomfortable. But Jason Taylor, I believe, will get his room correct, will in turn help that defense get correct gradually by doing things the right way. You focus on the internal, you get the right output. And so, again, this is Mario Cristobal adding more of what I would consider to be the right stuff to Miami football with elevating Jason Taylor. So keep an eye on this for Miami. Keep an eye on the recruiting trail and how this impacts how they recruit defensive ends, how they recruit that edge position. It's going to be paramount. But I think this gives them a little bit more juice when it comes to recruiting, especially in the state of Florida on the defensive line. Keep it locked right here. This has been The Hard Count. Make sure you're subscribed. They're not playing games, but we're continuing to do content every single day because college football don't stop, and we don't either. Nick, Break, Lift, and Heavy, this is your show. Again, follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at JD Pakel so we can have a back and forth, and I can hear from y'all, and we can do the content that you want to see. All right, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We're going to keep the party rolling, and we will see y'all next time. Hey, y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.